Join us Mondays to Fridays, 7:05 a.m. for newspaper reviews, headlines, analysis, and comments on your urban lifestyle station. High Impact 102.1 FM.
Impact Radio 102.1 FM, 6 minutes past 7, right on early on a Monday morning. On a free Monday morning, I must say, because...
Freeway. Sorry.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I know that feeling because, hey, it is free. And before I go on, I really need to say happy holidays, happy Eid al-Mawlid to all our Muslim brothers and sisters out there. Yesterday happens to be Prophet Muhammad's birthday, peace be upon him, and we have to celebrate it today. I enjoy, maybe when I wasn't doing this, but I used to enjoy whenever there is, public holidays like this. And especially from our Muslim brothers and sisters, because they spring it up as a surprise and it just comes
and
like,
it just
wow.
comes in large quantity.
So I always look forward to it in the past, but now, it's different. Apart from being grown, I think it has to do with the walk of life. Because there's no holiday here. We have no holidays in the media world.
We're here.
We're always going to be here. So, hey, welcome to the newspaper review right here on iMpact Radio 102.1 FM, where we try to make sure we analyze all of the stories that made the front page of some of the dailies that we have with us today. Yesterday, September 15, happened to be the day so many Nigerians were waiting for. Why were we waiting for that date? It happens to be the day where the NNPCL said, okay, officially we will be picking, fuel from the Dangote refinery, and it will be able to supply to the markets. Good news. Yes, they did intend, went to the refineries, picked it up with trucks, and as it stands now, we are supposed to have enough fuel that should be able to last to all filling stations, and probably we don't have to queue and all of that. But still at the same time, we heard stories, or not stories, it's not stories, it was said by the federal government that they picked the fuel at 898 naira per litre from Dangote's refinery. That is above the cost right now of fuel in the filling stations, at least in the NNPC filling stations. And Dangote also released a statement about that particular story of them, saying the fuel was picked from their depot at 898 naira. With Dangote saying, okay, we haven't given a certain price for our crude oil, for our petrol, no doubt about it. But this one at which we sold, it was sold at a rate because we converted it from, the dollar, because it was imported. The crude was imported and it was sold from the conversion rate, to the NNPC. And so many people are still speculating. So what exactly is going to be the price? And still now, we have no answers. No one is sure what the price is going to be. Marketers are not sure what the price is going to be. And everybody is just in the dark, receiving it as it is. We still have to wait to find out. Hopefully things get better. Hopefully there's fuels in the filling stations now. And hopefully we'll see ourselves making progress in Nigeria. My name is Uche Okori, and of course, I'm not doing this alone. Good morning to you.
Good morning. My name is Toluwashe Akinwumi. Lots of stories here, but we'll be taking it one by one. We are live on YouTube at High Impact Radio 1021 FM, and also you can visit the website www.high-impactstudios.com just so you can listen to us wherever you are on the go. So, when we start, the phone lines will be open 0700 1021 1021. We'll also receive your text message or WhatsApp message on 0907 224 5018.
Yeah, definitely. We would love to hear from you because you are the reason why we are here, and we're looking forward to your opinions or your reactions to some of the stories that made front page this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. I do hope it's a beautiful one wherever you're listening to me from. But in case it's not, believe me, it will get better. Let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at the papers in full. It is the newspaper review right on our Impact Radio 102.1 FM. We are your urban lifestyle station.
Are you a solo entrepreneur, startup team, or a seasoned professional looking for workspaces beyond the traditional office setting? High Impact Studios is the perfect place for you. Whether you're into the focus of a private or shared desk, the solitude of a personal corner, the exclusivity of a private office, or the collaboration in a conference room, we've got diverse plans designed around your preferences. So break free from the regular and elevate your work lifestyle by visiting High Impact Studios today. For inquiries, call 0706 393 5694 or 0813 428 2879. You can also send an email to info@highimpactstudios.com to reserve your space today.
Come on over to my place.
Join us Mondays to Fridays, 7:05 a.m. for newspaper reviews, headlines, analysis, and comments on your urban lifestyle station. High Impact 102.1 FM.
Twelve minutes past 7 via on our Impact Radio 102.1 FM. In case you are just joining us, believe me, you are right on time. It is the newspaper review where we get to talk about all of the stories that made front page on the papers this morning. At least some of the papers that we have with us this morning. Remember, you can always be a part of the conversation. And how can you do that? Well, you have to reach us via our studio lines. That's if you want to talk to us, it is 0700 1021 1021. That is 0700 1021 1021. But just in case you want to reach us via WhatsApp or your regular text message, that is also possible. The number for you to do that at is 0907 224 5018. 0907 224 5018. So we can get to, communicate. So react and let's find out how it's going on wherever you are at the moment. Remember, we're also streaming live on YouTube at the moment. So hey, go watch us, go subscribe, and click on the notification button for you to know whenever we are live. It is our Impact 102.1 FM on YouTube. Also on Facebook at our Impact Radio 102.1 FM. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay. Pay more attention when you call so we can get to communicate this morning. So moving straight to the papers, we will be starting with the Guardian newspaper. We'll be as quick as we can on the Guardian newspaper this morning. And it leads with a big one. Images, trucks and all of that. Yes, I'm talking about fuel this time around. Confusion over pump price subsidy as FG offtakes Dangote's petrol. Confusion over pump price subsidy as FG offtakes Dangote's petrol. That story is on page 6. It says it has one rider to it. NNPC insists on 898 naira per litre. 898 naira per litre, excluding associated cost. That is the amounts the NNPC is talking about. So many things still happening when it comes to petrol in Nigeria. Underneath that one, Tinubu gives ministers 1,200 bags of rice each as palliatives for distribution. Why are you doing that?
It came out.
Okay. Okay, I just want to imagine it just came out, So, anyways, I'm gonna move on. That story is on page 30. Tinubu gives ministers 1,200 bags of rice each as palliatives for distribution. I hope it gets to people who deserves it the most, and I hope it helps to solve the situation they are at the moment because, well, rice. Everybody needs rice.
Right.
Okay. Eid al-Maulud. Tinubu greets Muslims as IGP orders security beef up. Eid al-Maulud. Tinubu greets Muslims as IGP orders security beef up. That story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Edo Guba. State government alleges plan to withdraw Obaseki's security detail. That story is on page 29. Underneath that one, banks sack 49 as fraud-related losses spike by... Wow. Okay, let me take this again. Bank sacks 49 as fraud-related losses spike by 9,004% in quarter 2. 9,004%. This is not 100%. This is not 200%.
Wow.
9,004% of fraud-related cases in bank in the second quarter. That is huge.
Very.
That is so huge. Underneath that one, Maiduguri flawed. FG releases pictures of 281 fleeing inmates, capture 7. FG releases pictures of 281 fleeing inmates, captures 7. That story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Beside it, Obasanjo meets with IBB Abdusalami Gusau in Mina. Obasanjo meets with IBB Abdusalami Gusau in Mina. In case you want to find out why they met, what they talked about, well, it is on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And finally, we see this one says, okay, not finally. Telecom operators set to deactivate unlinked SIMs as deadline expires. That story is on page 6. This one. You see this one? I'm looking forward to. I'm telling you, to be honest, because I feel we have this culture of not wanting to do something that is relevant. Because we are as a persons, we love to talk about how things are supposed to be smooth, how things are supposed to be good. Yes,
don't do our part.
You get me. We don't want to play our own part. We want to be like the focal walls. I know the government has a whole lot of things to come to before they should expect so much from us. I do understand that part. But this is you being connected. You can't just be online and not want for the government not to know who you are. What are you hiding for? Why don't you want to be identified? Why don't you want to have an identification number?
And they've been on this thing for quite a while, like
for years now.
Telling us do this, do
it's been
this,
on
do
this for
this.
years, so I do not understand. And I'm talking to particular people I have around me at this point. Yes, I know they've blocked some of them, and I mock them on a daily basis because yes, it's intentional because I know they don't want to do it, and I keep reminding them, man, why have you not done this? And well, it doesn't call anymore, but it still has the means to browse, and I think that's one thing they need to take away from them too.
Maybe
because most of the time
they're
they're still
that's
online.
the reason. If
they're
that's
still online.
People want to come and do it, they know that they are cut off from the internet.
Because yes, it's still online because it still reaches me via social media, the WhatsApp, and it calls me. I'm like, why are you still calling me? How come you still call me, man?
He really wants his life to be bad. But yeah, it actually it's been a while for a long time.
You need to go do these things, But I understand why some people are, because you could go there. Sometimes these officials get to ask for money. These people get to, sometimes it's slow. It's crazy. They need to make it a bit easier. But I think they've given a long time. They've given long years. We've been on it for years. Let's be honest with ourselves. We've been on it for years. So it's not something new. I did mine in 2017. So it's not something new. That's over 5 years ago now. So it's not something new. So we should actually be intentional when it comes to things like this. It's our security. It's for us to be known, for us to be part of the system.
Sure.
At least for us to be recognized in the system. That one way or the other, you can be linked, you can be traced, you can for security purposes. One way or the other, it helps, it benefits the people. Finally, on the Guardian newspaper this morning, it has this one: synagogue building collapse, group laments non-prosecution of indictees in 10th anniversary. That story is on page 3, and that's the much we can take on the Guardian newspaper this morning.
And we move to the Punch newspaper right here on the front page. It says petrol price, Dangote, NNPC defer as refinery supplies 16 million liters. Dangote, NNPC defer as refinery supplies 16 million liters. The writer here says marketers await price after Dangote counters NNPC on 898 naira per liter PMS. Dealers allege fuel sale monopoly. So much is going on here with all of this. Whew. Okay, let's wait and see what will happen with the outcome. If you want to get more details for this story, it is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. We move to the top and we have NCOS contacts Interpol over 281 Borno fleeing inmates. NCOS contacts Interpol over 281 Borno fleeing inmates. Now that one you can find on page 8. Beside that, we have Maulud. Maulud. Tinubu governors urge prayers for peace, unity. That one is on page 20. And then we have on page 40, 2027, Wike's loyalists move against Fubara's second term bid. Wike's loyalists move against Fubara's second term bid. That again is on page 40. For the update on the Edo governor pool, we have APC PDP clash over rigging plot. APC PDP clash over region port on Wike's cousin. Okay, you can find the story on page 30. Let me not mind that particular piece. You can find this story on page 30, and below that we have Labour Party Abure. Did I get that correctly? Abure shows INEC over caretaker EXCO. Thank you. Abure sues INEC over caretaker EXCO. That is on page 8. That's below. And beside that, we have how I was rescued from collapsed Edo building, according to a particular landlord's daughter. You can find this story on page 4 and page 5. And lastly, beside that, we have NIN SIM linkage telcos begin disconnection as deadline ends. We took that story previously on the Guardian newspaper. So yes, it has begun. It has begun. There is going to be a lot of wailing for this particular one.
Are you telling me? A whole lot, I tell you.
And it's going to be really difficult. I mean, imagine maybe a particular number that is linked to a business and you've not gotten
I'm sure if your
NIN
business
thing.
really matters to you and you have that linked up, you should have done your NRN for so long.
So this one is on page 30 for the Punch newspaper. That is about what we can take right here.
But that's all for the Punch newspaper, and we move straight to the Daily Trust. But before the Daily Trust comes to your ears, remember you can be a part of the conversation anytime in the show if you call us up on 0700 1021 1021. That is 0700 1021 1021. You can also reach us via WhatsApp or your regular text message on 0907 224 5018. 0907 224 5018. The Daily Trust leads with Maiduguri flawed 400 million naira budgeted for Alu Dam in 4 years. 400 million naira budgeted for Alu Dam in 4 years. 2 riders or 3 riders to that story says dam neglected for years. That's according to Zulum. Its defects discovered 9 years ago. That's according to a report. Fear of disease grows as Borno decries harmful practices. Survivors wash, cook with contaminated water. Crazy things happening in Borno State at the moment. In case you want to find out all of those details, the Daily Trust has it on page 4 of its papers this morning. You have images of people in IDP camps, you know, really, really sad state which they find themselves at the moment. And hopefully the government will come to their responsibilities and do what they ought to do. Obasanjo Abdusalami Gusau meets IBB. That one is underneath the big story that we have this morning, and it is on page 8 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Underneath the nameplate of the Daily Trust this morning, hotel owner, manager, guest, 2 vigilantes shot dead by kidnappers. Hotel owner, manager, guest, 2 vigilantes shot dead by kidnappers. Beside it, Maulid, Tinubu's speaker, governors, others facilitates with Muslims. Tinubu's speaker, governors, others facilitate with Muslims. Finally, on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, an NPC lifts 7 trucks of petrol in fresh dispute with Dangote. An NPC lifts 70 trucks of petrol in fresh dispute with Dangote. That's all on the Daily Trust this morning.
And lastly, for the Vanguard, we find here, front page says petrol supply NNPCL, Dangote refinery disagree over pricing. NNPCL, Dangote refinery disagree over pricing. This particular story is on page 5, and we have a couple of riders here. One says 898 naira per liter, based on crude imported in dollars. That's according to Dangote. Another one says NNPC lifted 16.8 million liters out of 21 million. And we have more. Independent marketers feel left out. We are lifting 16.8 million liters of 898 naira per liter. That is still also by NNPC. I'll take one more here. LASG begins implementation of e-call up on Lekki. This one is by the Ekpe Port Corridor. So all of these stories about the NNPCL Dangote refinery disagreeing over pricing you can find on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. We have here again, Serap sues Tinubu over petrol price hike. NNPCL's probe. Serap sues Tinubu over petrol price hike. NNPCL's probe. And this one is on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. At the top, we find federal government delivers 1,200 CNG kits to 5 states. This one is on page 9. And below that, we have Maiduguri flooding. Federal government unveils identity of 281 fleeing inmates and recaptures 7. Federal government unveils identity of 281 fleeing inmates, recaptures 7. This particular story, if you want to get more details, it's on page 8. We also have Eid Maulud, Tinubu, Akpabio, Abbas, governors, PDP, Glow preach selflessness. This one is on page 35. And on page 8, we have Edo Ondo polls. The world's watching us. And this is from Anyaoko. We still have more stories. Below, by the side, we have Nenadi Usman has integrity to lead Labour Party. Nenadi Usman has integrity to lead Labour Party. This is according to the NLC. And you can find more details of this on page 9. Now we have some here. Let's go down to page 8. On page 8, we have Obi Salam's presidency over attempts to divert attention with U.S. polls. Obi Salam's presidency over attempts to divert attention with U.S. polls. That is on page 8. And on the sports section on page 37, we have New Haven for NPFL stars. New Haven for NPFL staffs. That is actually all we have right here on the Vanguard newspaper. If you're just joining us, we just took the papers from the front. We just took stories, major stories on the front headlines of the major newspapers in Nigeria.
Well, High Impact Radio 102.1 FM. Remember, you can always be a part of the conversation if you reach us on 0700 1021 1021, or if you text us or WhatsApp us on 0907 224 5018. Don't go nowhere. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll move into the second half of the show where we'll get to talk to our in-house analyst so we could get to analyze some of the stories that we have today. We are your urban lifestyle station, High Impact Radio 102.1 FM.
Venue on the Sea. A perfect and top-notch location for your special, social, and corporate occasions. Here at High Impact Cruise, we handle your events with elegance while providing you with outstanding service. An amazing experience you will never forget. For more inquiries, call 0815-181-9580, 0818-824-5734, or visit www.highimpactcruise.com. High Impact Cruise, dream, discover, explore.
The Urban Radio with the Force. Can you feel the pulse?
Yes, of course.
What's our name?
High Impact
102.1 FM.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM. For more information, call
0706 393 5694, 0915 958 1881, or 0902 745 3931.
Follow us on our social media platforms at High Impact 1021 FM. Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
The king of radio is here. High Impact 102.1 FM.
Join us Mondays to Fridays, 7:05 a.m. for newspaper reviews, headlines, analysis, and comments on your urban lifestyle station. High Impact 102.1 FM.
High Impact Radio 102.1 FM. In case you are just joining us, well, this is the newspaper review where we get to talk about all of the stories that made front page of some of the dailies that we have with us today. We've looked at some of the papers, the Guardian, the Punch newspaper, the Vanguard, and the Daily Trust papers this morning. So, hey, it's time for us to move to the second half of the show. Remember, you can always be a part of the show if you call us up on 0700 1021 1021, or reach us via WhatsApp or your text message on 0907 224 5018. We will be speaking with our in-house analyst in person of Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid. Good morning, Barrister.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be with you.
Good morning to you. Happy holidays to you, sir.
Happy holidays to you too. It to all Muslim listeners.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I have to start with the biggest story, which is on the news today, and it has to do with, the Dangote fuel. Yesterday, we saw that the NNPCL, took 70 trucks of the Dangote petrol, and we saw in the news of the NNPC talking about picking it at 898 naira per litre, and Dangote also bringing out a press statement, countering it and telling us why whatever happened. But I want to ask this question, which is really vital. Why is the secrecy shrouded around the pricing of this petrol? There's been secrecies from the get-go, from what the price is going to be and how much it's going to cost Nigerians. Also, are you of the school of thought of those people who say this is some sort of conspiracy to finally end at the particular exorbitant prices where Nigeria will be like, okay, Dangote tried its best, the federal government tried their best, they need to settle in the middle? Thirdly, the youth also support marketers and their call for saying probably NNPCL shouldn't be the sole, collector of petrol from Dangote, and rather it should be them as independent marketers going directly to the refinery to get this petrol by themselves.
You have asked me a lot of questions here, and I raised a lot of issues here. Like for instance, in the first place, the secrecy in NNPC and in our oil sector has been this for long, and this is the reason why we're having this problem we're having today. There is no accountability. There is no transparency in our oil sector. In terms of, I'm talking about the national, the NNPC as a regulator before now. No, they are not regulator now. They are now participants. The NNPC as then was ran into the problem it ran into, and up to now they will still continue with the problem because of lack of transparency and accountability, and that has still continued. And the NNPC, and it's a shame that NNPC that should be competing with Dangote has now made himself an agent or distributor of Dangote refinery. It's a shame. And the people are not, in fact, we have even ignored the fact that they were promised that Port Harcourt refinery will start in September. They are not even bothered about that. They are not concentrating on that. They are concentrating on how to fix a price of the commodity that is not done by them, that is not produced by them. So I think it's I don't know. And this is happening because most of the people in the authority have a hand in it. If not, I do not see why Mr. Mele Kyari, the group, the GMD of NNPCL, should still be in charge. Despite all this we are seeing, he has made a lot of promises that he has failed. He has given a lot of assurances that he has failed, and yet he's still retained. And it baffles me that a private company will be involving a business, and another private company will be the one determining the price of that person's product, or will be part of those who will determine it when it's not a co-investor. I know the NNPCL on behalf of Nigeria is set to have 70% or so. Indeed, that is not enough to control or determine the operations of Dangote refinery. But unfortunately, too, Dangote will have to play the game with them. He has to cooperate, otherwise he will lose. So it's to the benefit of Dangote, and it's not to the benefit of Nigerians. And that's why I've been saying this before now, that those who are expecting that Dangote is the game changer, Dangote refinery is the game changer, we are not telling ourselves the truth. The hike in price today is probably for me because of Dangote refinery that is coming up, and that's why we're going now. As it is today, apart from Lagos State, I assure you that all other states, the fare will not be less than 1,000 plus. And we are buying it for 600. The economy is like this. Now let's go to 1,000 plus. Imagine how the economy will be. So, when we say market forces determine price, why is it being fixed? Why did they not allow Dangote to fix its price? Why is Dangote not allowed to sell to? Why are they not allowing the market? I agree that the all marketers or anybody should be allowed to participate or buy in the product market. But Dangote is a private industry. It's a private business. So asking him or restricting him to only NNPC is a way of controlling him, as far as I'm concerned, and it's not good for us. It is not. We are back to where we are, and it's a free company as it is now. It's unfortunate. I don't even know what to say. This issue of fair pricing, fair this and that, refinery, whatever, it's been long, and we have not been able to find solution to it. And it appears those in government are satisfied with what is happening. I think it helps their own plans.
Oh wow! Well, it's a really, really sad situation, and for goodness sake, so many persons are still trying to get fuel. Some people are still queuing in filling stations, even at that outrageous amounts that they are paying. But let's move on to something else. I don't
even know why people are. If we are in a country where people are concerned, we should all drop our cars and not go and buy. They will find a way around it. They will do something to bring it down. They know us that when we are to the war, we break the war and we're moving. And so every Nigeria what they are saying now, everything will be available so that we know the price and we can buy. No, if you can buy, majority cannot buy. If you notice the road is dry these days because most people have brought their car, and that's not be a joy of any government. That he came into government and people who are using car are no longer using car because they can't buy fuel. It is not a joy. That does not show that the economy is growing. But some people will say no, they want to justify it and say other countries, the people don't use car anyhow. Those other countries have alternatives.
They have a good public transport system.
Even in Lagos, where we say we have a BRT, or what nature of price could we say you have? If you want to go to the office and you particular time you are not at the car park or at the bus stop or whatever, that will be the end for the day. You are not if you are not there because if you don't go with the early morning whatever, and you want to go like say in the middle of the day or 10 o'clock or so, you may not see anything to enter.
True.
So what are we talking about?
True. Well,
so we can't compare ourselves with other countries that people are not using their cars. Then because they have alternatives. If I have alternatives, we have be bothered about buying fuel. We have not be using alternatives that will reduce my cost.
Sure. Well, I want us to move on to something else. Right now, we in a few days' time, in 6 days' time exactly, there are those states will be having their governorship elections, and there have been so much back and forth from accusations upon accusations. The PDP accusing the APC of planning to rig the election, the APC, accusing the PDP of the same thing. And also, we saw on the news, INEC saying they won't, recall the Resident Electoral Commission in the person of Onwoha, who the PDP has alleged is the cousin of the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike. Is there some sort of conflict of interest when we have, relation to a sitting minister in, heading over an election that is supposed to go on in a state? That's the first question. And secondly, the PDP that is calling for the withdrawal happens to be where the Wike happens to be Wike's party. If they are accusing Wike of allegedly his cousin being there will favor the APC, does that mean anti-party activities or them not trusting Wike to be one of them?
The crisis of the Ula Balu regarding the man being a Wike's cousin is because of a lack of a trust in our system. And Wike may be a PDP member, he may say that he's a PDP member, that he's working for APC as it is today. And we are also aware of his stand regarding Edo State. He is against the current governor. So that is why people are saying that, look, somebody who has said that he will ensure my candidate will not win. And his cousin is now being put as a wreck. For me, ordinarily, if we're in a country where trust exists, where people believe in the system, where people believe in our independent electoral commissions, these issues will not be an issue. But we are in a country whereby that trust is not there, and people who are in position of authority use their influence to influence things. So, and that is why it's an issue. It's a genuine concern as far as I'm concerned, because we know in this country, when Wike said I will put fire in their state, what do you think it means? It's not that they will go and get matches and put fire. He will plant things that will disrupt or make their plan go wrong. That's what he says. So for me, I think it's a concern. It's a concern in Nigeria. Ordinarily, it should not be. But in Nigeria, as it is today, it's a concern because even people who are just appointed based on a law that the president has the power to appoint so president to this position. Once they are appointed by the president, they see it as president appointment, and therefore they must be loyal to the president, not to the nation. So imagine a situation whereby somebody is very close to somebody. So those who are not even close to are being alleged or being used to thwart certain things. So I think for me it's a genuine concern, and I think if we are in a country where we have a serious once an issue of bias or allegation is raised, I think they should do something. Ordinarily, they should have said, okay, if that is the case, let's bring another person in. If they have any of that, but what we will be seeing there is that people want to say that, look, we cannot dance to your tune. We must do things in line with our own thing. Yes, I agree, it should be. But here we are talking about people not trusting the system. This is an INEC or REC. And this is an INEC that gave us a lot of hope during the trade. And now we say, do contrary. We were told that REC was a change finger. We were told this will not happen. we are told we will not allow this. Even the security agencies, they made a lot of promises. At the end of the day, we saw them. Even in Kogi State, in other states, we saw them, what they did. So people is about confidence if you have confidence on the institution, if you have confidence on the system, all these allegations will not be an issue. The truth is that there is no confidence in it. And for me, Governor Wike may be a member of PDP on paper. There is art, his art and his activities are in favor of APC.
Okay. I'm talking about confidence. For you, do you see INEC restoring our confidence with the Edo and the Osun election? Osun elections? Ondo elections. Do you see INEC reviving our confidence with those two elections?
That's a very difficult question for me to answer. So why is it difficult?
Why?
If you look at 2023, like I said earlier, if you see the kind of statement made by INEC, if you see the kind of confidence they put in us, if you see what they said or regarding IRF, if you see what they told us regarding cyber or something, they didn't do all of those things they told us. So until the election is concluded, I won't be able to say I have a trust I can bet my and say they will deliver. I expect them to do that to redeem their image if they want to, if they are serious. But I will not stick my neck here and say I trust they will do well because they failed in the previous promises they've made. So in that regard, it made it difficult for me to be able to say as a take and say INEC will do well. If they want to do well, they can do well. But because they allow themselves to be influenced by certain politicians, that's why we are seeing what we are seeing. So, yes, except we are deceiving ourselves. Certain people are being influenced and things are done against the wish of the people. Look at what happened in Kogi State, the last election. Could you call that election? That's not an election. And was there security? Was there proper? We are even before the start of the election, that result has been written, and yet those results were counted. So I will not sit here and stick my neck and say INEC will redeem its image. It's for them to show us that they can redeem their image. Well, I'll be waiting for them.
Well, I guess we just have to sit and wait to find out if their image will be redeemed, because at the end of the day, there is nothing we can do to actually, change them, because they are in charge, and it's until they decide to do the right thing, then we will find out.
And they are one of our problems. They are. They're not doing a free and fair election. It's the reason why we have people who are not supposed to be in power. If I have INEC that will deliver in line with what, even though I believe that most of the people that contest election, majority of them are not qualified. When I say qualified, in terms of capacity, are not qualified. But because their party will throw them out, just because of party sentiments, will vote for them. But despite that, when we are supposed to choose between two, those that were supposed to two devils, the INEC also not allow us to rather take side. Even the security agencies, they do that. Now we have about 40,000 plus security deployed to Edo State, and yet you will not see any result. Just like we have insecurity everywhere, you will not see them deploy 10,000 or 5,000 police to anywhere. But when it comes to election, they will deploy 40,000, and yet you will not see any result. And for me, I even think that that deployment, that number is just to make money, because the more number you deploy, the more money you get. So maybe they don't even have up to that number deployed. They were just telling us so that on record, on paper, money will be hard for it.
Okay. Finally, it's still related to the Wike issue, and I want to talk about it because, hey, we're seeing the Wike Fubara crisis happening in Rivers State steadily, and now on the news, we're hearing the Wike loyalists talking about blocking the path for Sim Fubara getting a 2027 second term. That is not the main issue I'm trying to face now. I'm trying to look into the fact that how are we going to come to terms with a situation whereby a government and the people who are supposed to be his House of Representatives are not working in cohesion, but rather there's focus on a new term when governance have not even taken place in the first term? How does this affect the people?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I thought you were still on.
Oh, can you hear me
How
now?
does it affect?
Yeah, the people.
Yes. How does it affect what?
The people. How does this interest the people? Because now the people are not being governed. If the people House of Representatives are focused on 2027, not letting the present governor govern, then what is there for the people to gain?
Even the governor that you say they are not allowed to govern is planning about 2027. Everybody is planning. The problem in this country is about the next election. Even the president today, and that's why you see most of the elections, most of the appointments made by the president were influenced by political interests. You see, it's sad that we are in 2024 and we are talking about 2027, and that's what we are. All the fight or all the issues in River State is now about 2027, and that's why you see the former governor, the now minister of FCC, said, "I'll not allow anybody to take over my structure." That is the structure to win the election. So the issue now is that rather than focus on governance, they focus on how to win the next election, and that's why we're not growing. That's why things are not done the way it should be done. It's sad that the focus should not be about. It's sad that focus is about the next election rather than on governance. I have said it since the start of the problem between the Wiki and the current governor Fubara. I have said that governance will go to sleep, and that is it. Everybody will be planning now, and the cocoa of fight is now how to retain the structure, because now Governor Fubara has realized that look, he cannot get it right again with the current minister, and therefore he must find a way of becoming the next of having his own structure to win. And people who want to make money will be aligned with one person or the other, and everybody will be coming out to say to give you a second time, this and that. It's too early, and that's why even the current president, in fact, he started his own before the 2023 election. He started it. I remember when he was campaigning in Enugu, he said it that I promise I'll do this, I'll do that. That if I don't do it, don't vote for me in 2027. He said it. So and that's why I said almost all what they have been doing are influenced by the second term syndrome intention. So until we have a situation whereby this second term people will come to power office and realize that look, I am here to serve people. When I am done with my 4 years, if I'm satisfied, people will vote me more. And in fact, as it is today now, we have even turned it to become a 8-year tenure according to the constitution. Constitution says 4 years. Then whatever we want to talk, we say he must finish his 8 years. He must finish his 8 years, as if that is what the constitution says. So unfortunately, those who are allied, they are deceiving us. They are the one that will lead us to start saying all this kind of thing, and people will buy it and start taking it from one place to another. It's unfortunate that governance is resting, and politics is taking the lead.
Well, it's quite unfortunate. So please help us with your final thoughts before we go this morning.
Yeah, I think Nigeria should be concerned about governance. Governance should be everybody's business. It should not be for politicians, because people will say, I'm not a politician. It's for politics, for politicians. No, the politician will rule over you. They will determine how your life will be. Whether your life will be better or not, it is them that will determine it. They will provide the economic plan, security plan. So if you are not part of it, you are not part of the system. You are not part of when they are planning, and you say they didn't see it very well. You'll be deceiving yourself. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, the idea of people staying away from politics will not help us. We must be concerned about politics. We must be concerned about who will govern us. It's our responsibility. It's not for politicians alone. Nobody is born as a politician. We are all Nigerians. We are all, anybody that is interested in governance of a state or country is a politician. So you must be concerned. You don't have to contest election, because people see, once you say you are a politician, you are that person who wants to contest election. It's not compulsory. No, you must be interested in it so that you have a say whatever any decision is taken. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, for joining us and sharing your thoughts. Do have yourself a beautiful, beautiful Eid el-Maulud, sir.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be with you. Eid el-Maulud to Muslim listeners again. Good morning.
Well, like he said, every Nigerian should be intentional, should be interested in politics. It's not possible for you to say you do not like politics and at the end of the day say you're not interested in it, and then you complain daily and daily, because at the end of the day, politicians will always be the ones in charge. So if you decide not to be interested in it, it means you are leaving, your destiny in other people's hands. I'd rather have my destiny in my own hands. So I'd rather make my own decisions and influence my own decisions and say, oh, this is who I want. This is how I want to be ruled. Rather than say, hey, I don't care whoever comes there, whoever goes there, they should just go there and do the right thing. How would you know if they will do the right thing if you do not even believe in them or if you do not even know nothing about them? So we as Nigerians need to be interested in politics. We got a couple of messages here. Yes. So you want to take that for us?
Okay, yes. So we have one here. Good morning, High Impact Radio. My name is John Amodu from Simawa, Ogun State. The issue of NNPCL and Dangote fuel price controversy is just unfortunate. For crying out loud, Dangote Refinery is a private entity that should be allowed to operate without any form of dictatorship from the government or any other agency. The government should, any other agency. Now, the government should revamp the public refineries to create room for competition. On the issue of arresting of protesters and alleged sponsors, Tinubu is behaving like a worse military dictatorship and tyranny government. He should know that he was once a protest promoter. He has been arrested. You should know that he is once a protest promoter and has been arrested. President Tinubu needs to have a change of mind and consider the cry of the poor masses. I strongly advise Nigerians to be united and call this bad government to order because our corrupt politicians are not greater than the masses. May God unite us to fight for the promising future of this great nation. Amen. And we have another one from Victor Anya from Ogba. Good morning, High Impact FM. Good morning. Why should NNPCL be the sole buyer of Dangote Refinery's petrol? Is this not another monopoly being put in place? Why is the rush into the use of CNG cars in Nigeria when advanced countries are still using petrol cars? Is CNG cheaper than petrol? Even if CNG is cheap, will it still be cheap if 200 million Nigerians migrate to the use of CNG cars? That is this question.
Okay, well, so those were the comments we got on the paper's review today, and it's how we call it an end on today's edition of the newspaper review. I want to say a very big thank you to everybody who opened their ears and opened their doors to us, that is through your radio, or those ones who are watching live on YouTube. I want to say a very big thank you for allowing us be a part of your morning, for allowing us be a part of your holidays, and we wish you a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful celebrations today. Relax, refresh yourself and prepare for the new week, because it's a new one already, but you're blessed with the one to rest on a Monday, which so many people are always looking forward to. I don't know why people don't like Mondays, but
it's not liked. It just has a rush, like everybody's just outside.
I understand,
and
I know it's always crazy on Monday mornings. That's why this one was a beautiful one for me, because less people, less activity, outside. And I was just smooth riding. But hey, thank you so much for being a part of it today. My name is Uche Okori. Till I come your way again tomorrow with another exciting edition, remain blessed.
My name is Toluwashe Akiomi, and of course the Morning Impact Show continues.
Mondays to Fridays, 7:05 a.m. for newspaper reviews, headlines, analysis, and comments on your urban lifestyle station. High Impact 102.1 FM.
I know, and I love you too. This is why I've made it so that you can now have me everywhere you go. www.highimpactstudios.com. Press play. Links in our social media bio click at High Impact 1021 FM. Or you can just go the regular way. Turn on your radio and tune in to 102.1 FM.
We love you at High Impact Radio. Mwah!
See, there is no separating us now.